Now, the holidays are a time when you get together with your family and your friends, but it can also turn into the time of year where we complain a little bit too much. Kat Robey is here to get us kind of jump started on how not to go down that path. We're getting ahead of this for this time of year.
It's a good thing.
Well, and I feel like if people really paid attention to even right now things that they're saying, they'll kind of find themselves maybe pushing back almost against the holidays.
It's funny, right? Oh, here comes pumpkin.
Yeah. Right?
I think it's so funny.
Pumpkin spice everything.
Pumpkin spice is back. Oh man, I don't have time to do the holiday stuff. Oh, my cards, I have to think about the...
They're already upset with just the idea.
Right.
idea of the holidays.
It's supposed to be the most wonderful time of the year, not to complain.
But and I think a lot of people will catch themselves doing that, and that kind of starts translating throughout the holiday time, including getting kind of into your relationship. And there's so much stress that comes with this time. I think it starts affecting that.
Absolutely. And you think about things about gifts, parties, things that can get into a little wedge between the couple, like which family are you going to visit, or how are the holidays going to go down, or how are you going to spend your time off. Those are all things that are ripe for upset if you don't work through those things. Or maybe visiting family, you could kind of complain a little bit about what's going on with your relationship.
I was going to say, when you get family and friends together, it almost turns into an open ear. And let's say maybe throughout the whole year you might have some things that you're thinking about your significant other, but the holidays, one, amplifies it because so much is going on, and two, you've got an open ear. That's never healthy to take the time for everyone to sit around and then, we maybe have a glass of wine.
Oh, sure.
And then you start maybe complaining to your family about your significant other. And that has, I think, longer lasting effects than you're thinking.
It does, and it kind of it keeps coming back around too. So maybe you think you're just making a comment here or there, or they say, oh yeah, I know that about him. I'm her brother, I'm his sister, or whatever. You can get some buy-in, but then again, you might be kind of fracturing the relationship, both with you and with them and their siblings, parents, whatever it is that their connection is. You're kind of taking them down one little chip at a time when you think about it that way. So it's an easy thing to fall into, but to stop yourself and think, is this serving my relationship? Is this serving my connection with my partner? If it's not, maybe steer clear of that.
Well, and I told you that if you're kind of just making comments about your significant other to your family, to their family, to whomever, you might just think it's a one-off, but then you're changing the minds of people about, one, you, and also about your relationship that maybe can't be reversed later down the road. So maybe going into areas where you're going to be with a lot of family, would you say go in with a better mindset or more mindful of it?
More mindful, more aware of it, absolutely. I think that's always the best way to start. And then I always like to add a little push for myself. If I think I might fall into one of those traps, I'm going to be actively looking for ways that I can either appreciate something that they do, or say thank you for something that they do, or highlight something that I love about them. Because how often does that happen, first of all? I mean, talk about a holiday gift.
Right?
Let's just talk about things we love about each other. But I like to try to find something to push into instead of just avoiding the conversations or avoiding chipping away at somebody else's person. What do you love about them? Why are you here? What keeps you day to day engaged with this person? It's funny. I think if we just asked ourselves that, maybe every day maybe is too much to ask for, but check in once a week with yourself. What keeps you in your relationship? That's a great question, because then if you don't know what those things are, you're not paying enough attention. And maybe you're not even present enough in your own relationship to understand where things are with you. So yeah, absolutely keep mindful about it and wonder if that's going to make you more connected or not.
And I think, not complaining about your significant other with your family or an open ear or anybody that will listen, but also this time of year, you end up complaining about your family with your significant other. I am super blessed that I love my in-laws, and my in-laws are amazing, but that can be tensions within some relationships, and that never bodes well also coming out of the holidays.
Right. And one way to think about that, when there is something to complain about, I consider it that there's something to talk about.
Oh.
Right? So if you really want to complain and you're taking it to a person who can't really affect any change in that area, maybe the thing to do is to figure out together how to talk to those people or that other relation that you don't know how to bring it up. So then you end up complaining to somebody about it, especially when you're complaining to your partner about their family. That hurts. And it's kind of a hard thing to take back. And what you really want to say is probably something like, I don't know how to address this situation with your whoever. So use that as your cue. Like, oh, I'm getting ready to complain about something, or I'm going to throw you under the bus with them.
Right.
Maybe we need to talk about how I feel really uncomfortable with this thing, and can we come together in a way that we can bring this to their attention and maybe solve this problem? Because when you're solving it, it's not complaining.
We're definitely going to expand on this later when you come back to visit me, Kat. But I think this is a great reminder for everyone, just as we're kind of getting into the Thanksgiving, Christmas time of year. Do this little check with yourself, a little bit of a checklist. Kat, thank you so much for coming in for the reminder. Now, if you've been interested in professional advice, give Kat Robey a call actually at 906-3392, or you can also visit robeycounseling.com.